Sometimes the body whispers before it ever dares to shout. The heart, our most faithful companion, beats more than 100,000 times a day, day after day, without complaint. It carries us through decades of laughter, loss, and living. But when trouble brews quietly within, it rarely sends loud warnings at first. It sends gentle hints, signals so soft that they often go unnoticed until the crisis comes. In older adults, these whispers can begin days or even weeks before a heart attack. The tragedy is that most people don't recognize them in time. In this calm reflection, we'll uncover 5 silent signs your body may show before a heart attack strikes. Subtle clues that your heart might be asking for help. Understanding these signs isn't about fear. It's about awareness, protection, and respect for the body that has carried you so far. Let's begin with the first and most common of them all: unusual fatigue. Fatigue is something we all experience from time to time. It's the tiredness that follows a long day of activity, the exhaustion that tells us we've earned a good rest. But there's another kind of fatigue, quieter, more persistent, and strangely hard to explain. It creeps in without reason. You might wake up tired, feel drained even after light chores, or find yourself needing to rest after tasks that once felt easy. Many seniors, especially women, describe this exhaustion in the days before a heart attack. They say things like, "I just don't have my usual energy," or "I can't get through my day," without feeling worn out. It's not laziness, nor simply age catching up. It's often the heart struggling to keep up with the body's demands. When the coronary arteries narrow due to plaque buildup, the heart muscle doesn't get enough oxygen. That shortage makes the heart work harder to push blood through constricted pathways, leaving you tired even when you haven't done much. Some people experience this fatigue weeks before a heart event. They nap more, lose motivation, or feel a deep heaviness in their limbs. Others describe it as slowed down living, as if every movement requires double effort. It's easy to ignore, to blame on weather, diet, or mood. But if this exhaustion feels different, if it lingers without clear cause, it may be the body's way of saying, "I'm under strain." Pay attention to this whisper. It's your heart asking for a checkup, not a caffeine boost. The second sign is shortness of breath. Breathing is the rhythm of life. We do it without thought, without effort, until suddenly it feels different. If you find yourself running out of breath after light activity, like walking to the mailbox, climbing a few stairs, or even speaking at length, that's not something to overlook. When the heart's pumping ability declines, it can't deliver oxygen-rich blood efficiently. The lungs compensate, working harder to pull in more air. The result? You feel breathless, even when sitting still. This symptom can be subtle. You may notice you need to prop yourself up with extra pillows to sleep comfortably. You may wake up gasping or find it hard to take deep breaths. Sometimes, it's accompanied by a mild chest tightness or light dizziness. Sensations easy to dismiss as anxiety or aging, but they are often early signs that the heart isn't functioning at full strength. Shortness of breath can appear days or even weeks before a heart attack. In women, it's especially common as a quiet, ongoing discomfort rather than a sharp pain. Imagine the heart and lungs as lifelong partners. When one begins to struggle, the other carries the load. That's what breathlessness tells us, that the partnership is under pressure. So if you notice you've been pausing more often to catch your breath, or you can't walk as far as you used to. Don't chalk it up to time or weather. Treat it as a message. The body rarely lies, but we often fail to listen. The third silent sign is swelling in the feet, ankles, or legs. Many seniors notice puffiness around their ankles or shoes, feeling tighter than usual. Often this is dismissed as a side effect of standing too long, heat, or salty food. But swelling at what doctors call edema can also be an early warning that your heart is struggling to keep blood circulating properly. When the heart's pumping weakens, blood can pool in the lower parts of the body. The pressure pushes fluid out of the blood vessels and into the surrounding tissues, leading to swelling. At first, it's mild, socks leaving deeper impressions, or slight puffiness at day's end. Over time, the swelling can worsen, sometimes extending up the legs. You might also notice that your weight increases by a few pounds in just a couple of days. Not from food, but from fluid retention. It's the heart's way of saying, I can't move things as efficiently as before. This kind of swelling often appears in tandem with shortness of breath, because the same circulation problem that affects your lungs also affects your legs. It's a quiet clue, often more visible than painful, but deeply meaningful. If you press your finger on the swollen area and the indentation lingers, it's time to get checked. Early recognition here can prevent a serious event later. The fourth sign is persistent indigestion, nausea, or stomach discomfort. This may sound surprising, but heart-related discomfort doesn't always appear in the chest. In fact, for many elderly people, especially women and diabetics, the first symptoms appear in the abdomen, a feeling of fullness, pressure, or mild burning that resembles acid reflux, can actually be the heart's distress signal. The nerves that carry pain from the heart also serve the stomach, which is why the brain sometimes confuses the two. Many people have gone to bed after what they thought was indigestion, only to wake with a heart attack hours later. The difference is that heart-related discomfort tends to feel like pressure rather than sharp pain, and it often appears during activity rather than after eating. You may notice that bending, walking, or emotional stress triggers it. Sometimes it's accompanied by nausea, belching, or cold sweats. The key here is persistence. Ordinary indigestion improves with antacids or rest, but when this discomfort lingers, worsens, or arrives with other symptoms like fatigue or breathlessness, it's wise to think beyond the stomach. Listen to your gut. Sometimes it's telling you about your heart. And now the fifth silent sign, discomfort in the neck, jaw, or upper back. Heart pain isn't always where you expect it to be. The heart's nerves share pathways with many other parts of the body, which is why heart trouble can masquerade as soreness in the jaw, shoulders, or even the upper back. Elderly people often describe it as a dull ache or tightness that comes and goes. They might think they've slept wrong or strained a muscle while gardening. But if that discomfort appears alongside fatigue, sweating, or breathlessness, it could be your heart projecting distress into another area. Jaw pain is particularly common in women before a heart attack. Some describe a pressure that radiates up to the ear or down the neck. Others feel it between the shoulder blades, a heavy, deep ache that massage or stretching doesn't relieve. It can happen during rest or physical activity, but it often worsens with exertion. That's a telltale clue that the heart might be involved. Our bodies are remarkable storytellers. They give us signals long before systems break down, but we must learn their language. So let's pause here and reflect on what we've discovered. Unusual fatigue, shortness of breath, swelling, indigestion, discomfort in the neck or jaw. These 5 signs may appear faint, scattered, and unrelated. Yet together, they form a quiet pattern, one that could point to a heart in distress. Recognizing them early could mean the difference between prevention and tragedy. Many seniors ignore these signs because they fear the hospital, or they don't want to bother the doctor. But silence can be dangerous. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death among older adults worldwide. Yet, when caught early, it is often manageable. With medical attention, lifestyle changes, and proper care, thousands of heart attacks can be prevented every year. So what should you do if you notice these signs? Start by keeping a record. Note when they happen, what you were doing, how long they last, and whether they improve with rest. Then, share that information with your healthcare provider. Modern tests like ECGs, echocardiograms, and stress tests can detect hidden issues long before a heart attack occurs. Also, pay attention to timing. Many people who experience these symptoms report that they appear more during exertion, walking, climbing stairs, or emotional stress, and fade when resting. That's a clear sign the heart might be involved. Beyond awareness, prevention remains your strongest shield. Let's explore some gentle heart protective habits that can help you stay ahead. First, stay active within your comfort zone. Walking, stretching, gardening, or gentle swimming can keep circulation strong. Movement doesn't have to be intense. It just needs to be consistent. Even 20 minutes a day can make a remarkable difference in heart health. Second, nourish your body wisely. Focus on whole foods, vegetables, fruits, oats, lentils, fish, and heart-healthy fats like olive oil and nuts. Avoid excess salt, which can worsen swelling, and processed sugars, which strain your arteries. Hydration is equally vital. The heart loves a well-balanced environment, not too thick, not too thin. Third, manage stress calmly. Emotional stress releases hormones that make your heart beat faster and your blood pressure rise. Seniors often carry emotional burdens quietly. Grief, loneliness, or worry for loved ones. Gentle breathing exercises, mindfulness, prayer, or a quiet walk outdoors can all lower stress hormones naturally. Remember, calmness is medicine too. Fourth, sleep deeply and consistently. Poor sleep is often underestimated. The heart needs rest as much as the mind does. Try to maintain a regular bedtime, keep screens away, and ensure your sleeping posture supports easy breathing. Finally, never ignore your instincts. The body speaks in whispers before it screams. If something feels off, if fatigue feels heavier, if breath shortens faster, if swelling or strange pains appear, trust your intuition. It's better to be checked and find reassurance than to delay and regret later. Let's also address a powerful truth. Heart attacks often don't look the same in men and women. Men tend to experience the classic symptoms: chest pain, tightness or heaviness radiating down the arm. Women, however, often have subtler signs: fatigue, shortness of breath, jaw pain, or nausea, sometimes without any chest discomfort at all. That's why women's heart attacks are more frequently missed or misdiagnosed. Awareness here isn't just helpful, it's life-saving. Now imagine this. You're walking through a quiet morning. Sunlight soft on your face, birds calling gently in the distance. Your heart, strong yet aging, beats faithfully beneath your ribs. It has carried you through decades, through joy, loss, laughter, and love. It deserves attention, not neglect. Every heartbeat is a miracle, but miracles need care. Listening to your heart's whispers is one of the greatest acts of self-respect you can offer. Each of the 5 signs we discussed may seem ordinary alone. Fatigue could mean age, shortness of breath could mean lack of exercise, swelling could mean salt, indigestion could mean dinner, and back pain could mean posture. But when these appear together or linger without reason, they deserve to be taken seriously. Heart disease rarely strikes out of nowhere. It builds quietly, one missed symptom at a time. Awareness, therefore, is the first step toward longevity. If you've lost a friend or relative suddenly to a heart attack, you know the shock it brings. Often, when families look back, they realize the body had been signaling distress all along. The fatigue, the swelling, the restlessness. They simply didn't know those were warning signs. That's why knowledge is power. And remember, age does not define destiny. Many seniors live strong, fulfilling lives well into their 80s and 90s because they learned to listen early. They recognized the whispers, sought help, and made small, steady changes. Your heart is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's been with you since the moment you took your first breath. Give it the same care and patience it has given you for a lifetime. Let's summarize the 5 silent signs once more. 1. Unusual, unexplained fatigue. Tiredness that doesn't match your activity level. 2. Shortness of breath. Struggling for air after mild effort or while lying down. 3. Swelling in feet, ankles, or legs. Fluid buildup that appears over days. 4. Indigestion or stomach discomfort. Persistent fullness or pressure not linked to meals. 5. Discomfort in neck, jaw, or back. Aches that appear with exertion or without clear reason. If even one of these symptoms feels familiar, let this video be your sign to take action. To check in with your healthcare provider and to give your heart the attention it deserves. And if you are a caregiver child or grandchild watching this, learn these signs for your loved ones. The elderly often understate their pain, brushing off serious symptoms to avoid worry. But you can be their listener, their advocate, their protector. Sometimes one caring conversation is all it takes to save a life. The beauty of awareness is that it transforms fear into power. By understanding your body, you gain control over your future. You replace uncertainty with action. You replace risk with care. So as this video comes to a close, take a deep breath and place a gentle hand over your heart. Feel that steady rhythm, the quiet strength within you. Promise yourself that you'll never ignore its whispers again. You've come too far, lived too much, and loved too deeply to let silence steal your tomorrow. Your heart has been echoing through every chapter of your life. It deserves to keep echoing for many more. This is Elder Echoes, where every heartbeat tells a story, and every story reminds us that wisdom, care, and awareness can add beautiful years to our journey. Take care of your heart because it's been taking care of you since the beginning. For more videos, subscribe my channel.